Rathia sails with you this day. Godspeed.
I've seen things.
Now is not the time for further debate. Go, and prove you were worthy of our trust. Go.
Hey!
We're so close. Hurry now! 1,000 times you could ask that question, and every time I would answer yes. Absolutely yes. But there is something terrible about arriving at a day you've been anticipating for years.
Keep walking. The ships are loading now for Melsen Shear. Are you ready to board? Right away.
Agarth, you know better than any of us how this will end. Why must we fight a war that you know we will not win?
You would still ask that to Lara, after all you've seen.
Until I get an answer, Fate Weaver. Until then.
Why do we fight? Because there is hope. Because only through battle can we break the chains that fate has forged. Don't you see? We have been given a chance. And though some of us will die, we will die knowing that our lives were finally our own. That we are no longer slaves to the whims of fate. Would you throw it away? Just for fear of another defeat? Not I. I will fight. And if I die knowing that I have made a choice. And this choice, for good or for ill, was my own.
Come on, the commander's waiting for us.
I hope they don't...
Not exactly the heroes of legend, but you're a welcome sight nonetheless. Cluricon is all swamp, jungle, and death. Have you ever tried fighting an army in a place like this? It's hot, wet, and it always smells like something died, because something did. We've been the front line of this war for the last decade. The fact that Melsen Shear still stands at all is a testament to all we've sacrificed. I was just a child before the siege started. I joined the army because I dreamed of becoming a hero like the great General Tilera. Funny thing, dreams. The General's army used to defend us, but that was before the Tuatha started summoning Niskaru to join them. Tilera's forces never stood a chance. Still, she blamed herself and went into exile. We could have used her here, but heroes only show up when you really need them, right? Those bastards keep squeezing us and squeezing us. Well, it's time for them to see what we mortals can do. When Melsen Shear was built, the Winter Fae weren't the friendliest of neighbors, but they were nothing like the Tuatha they've become. Likely you've come to see the fortress before it falls. I've seen her stand for the last 10 years, but the end, I think, has finally come. Our scouts report that the Tuatha are massing, and in their wake we've seen it. The Niskaru Lord, Baelor, has come for Melsen Shear at last. Indeed, they expect us to hide behind the walls of Melsen Shear. Instead, we'll rush the field and delay the Baelor's arrival. That leaves the Witch Knight. Malwyn is the commander of the Tuatha forces, and likely the one who has made a pact with the Baelor. You and Tilera will be part of an effort to kill him. If we can kill Witch Knight Malwyn, then the Baelor may run rampant in the field, and in the chaos we can rout the Tuatha. It is much to hope for, but that's the plan. The real mission goes to General Tilera and yourself. My place is with my brothers and sisters, on the ground and against the enemy. When you're ready, come meet me by the gates. We've hidden from these nightmares long enough. Now we must face them. and perhaps we'll live to see the morning. Just another recruit.
The next ship out of here is heading for Rathir. Are you in suit?
I don't care if the bartender's manning the ramparts. Someone has to have a drink for sale.
Looking to restock? Ilundol Dram.
I'm back again.
Just another recruit. Interested in a trinket or a gem? Realties another time then.
I heard of you in the siege.
What is it? Time is running out! Steel yourselves. The battle is not to be taken lightly. Then let us go. We've had sightings of the Tuatha vanguard. When they enter the courtyard, we will open the gates and counterattack. You and Talera will use the distraction to execute your plan. One way or another, this will be over soon.
Corre Sunera Alfor! Our hunt for Malwyn can now begin in earnest. I will take one path and you another. If Wygland's troops hold, then Malwyn will be delayed at the outer wall with the Baelor. But we should make sure he doesn't get past us. Now, we must get moving. There is no room for error.
This is the guard. Is anybody left in there?
Came fast! We held them back!
back and guard this area.
Get moving! I'll make sure they don't try that again. Someone's got to make sure these ladders stay down. And you need to move before O'Waglin's troops start falling back.
Finally, some reinforcements. We tried to fight off the Tuatha, but they took most of our company prisoner. They're threatening to execute the rest unless we lay down our arms. You could get in amongst them, silently, if possible, and save what's left of the survivors. I recommend you tread lightly in there. They'll probably kill any survivors if we try to mount a frontal assault. Normally, I'm a scout, but anybody that can swing a blade has to do their part today. The Tuatha moved on us in such numbers, we couldn't hold them all off.
is our chance, before they can regain control of the creature. Ah! Theoden, guide my hand. For Rathir! This ends here!
You're still alive! You've got to destroy Baelor before it tears this place apart. I know, child. Everything seemed still in that moment when she struck the Baelor. At least she died how she wanted to. But her sacrifice won't mean anything unless you do something to stop that beast. Are you reporting in? A Niskado as big as this fortress? It's pushed us all the way back here, and now it is tearing down the very walls of Mel Senshir. The Tuatha must be truly mad to conjure up such a beast. The Tuatha are all over our lines. The battle is a bit of a mess right now. I heard them stop pounding, a bunch of fighting, and then nothing. Guess I have you to thank that we're not completely overrun. We held off the last wave, and then that thing showed up. I dragged them both here, but I don't think they're gonna make it. Join you? I can't just leave my posting in such a state. I'll try to hold up here best as I can. Good luck to you.
They're gone. After 10 years, I can't believe they're finally gone. It's over. After all these years, the siege is broken, and we're alive. Thank the gods for sending you to us. This is a glorious day, but I have heard a bitter rumor in the wake of all of this. Is it true? Has Telera fallen? Then the rumors of her dishonor will finally be silenced. She gave everything to us in the end, and the world will know that. When we rebuild these walls, we'll name them after General Telera. Her memory will stand as long as the ramparts shine. But she never would have been here had you not delivered her to us. It can never be enough, but we hope you'll accept this as our thanks. We freed the city, but the Tuatha still hold most of Cluricon. Over the years, they've infected every part of these swamps. Clearing them out isn't going to be easy, but we might have help. There are rumors of a small band of fighters harassing the Tuatha. Perhaps the hero of Mel Senshir can convince them to work with us. Good luck. Our soldiers are doing their best out there, but it's still a nightmare. We've heard rumors about a band of soldiers striking the Tuatha for years, but nothing solid. They said their forces were crippled by a bitter frost, but it never gets that cold in the swamps. Watch out for those red-eyed bastards.
Off into the swamps, I assume? None that would be of any help. After a decade of Tuatha control, they've all gone quiet. But if there are any out there, I'm sure they'll be looking for you. Just keep your eyes open. After all, you'll be in their swamp. Be on your way. Off into the swamps, I assume? Be on your way.
Any luck out there? They're fighting the Tuatha, right? Since you're the one who defeated Witch Knight Malwyn, I suspect they'll be looking to find you. I'll meet you in Mel Senshir.
Welcome to the war.
Well, Warsworn, good to meet you. Have you come for scout trip? Goodbye.
Ah, your hands are strong. Are you a student of the blade? Happy hunting.
Honor to you, champion. I watched from the battle's van while you faced Malwyn and his demon pet. You have earned great glory and the respect of all Alfar. If you have a moment, could I ask a favor of you? I have never been a part of a battle like that before. You and Telera were magnificent. Historically, the First Sword is the greatest blade master of the Alfar army. I earned the title when I killed a Tuatha champion known as Zarastes. We grew up together back in Erethel. I've never known a warrior more courageous. Since the Tuatha penned us here, Mel Senshir has become more than just our home. It is where we made our stand. Now that the siege has been broken, it will be where we rise up and take the fight back to the cursed Tuatha. My sister can be abrasive at times. Do not let her rough exterior fool you, though. None can forge a finer blade. Since the battle, several of my men have asked for the chance to challenge the champion of Mel Senshir. You slew Malwyn and destroyed the great demon he commanded. They hold you in awe. 5 of our greatest fighters have asked, and if you accept, they will each face you here in the practice yard in single combat. There are 5 in total. Anayan Gaius, Tarek Smith, Safedra Will, Adrian Tyr, and my sister, Ragnar Sen. Tell me when you are prepared to fight, and Good luck to you, champion. Excellent. Your first challenger is Anayan Gaius. He is a veteran of more than a dozen campaigns and my personal aid. This should prove interesting. Go with Lyria. That last fight with Anayan was interesting. He fared better than I thought, though I was unsurprised when you bested him. Prepared for your next challenge? Your next challenger is Tarek Smith. The smith spends all day pounding steel. Do not let him pound you too. Go with Lyria. You certainly didn't pull any punches with my blacksmith. I hope he can still hold a hammer tomorrow. Sir Phaedra Will is next. Are you prepared? Sir Phaedra is one of my best scouts, quick and agile. Give her any room and she'll make the ring into your grave. Go with Lyria. You handled Sir Phaedra readily enough. Perhaps it's time you face Adrian Tyr. Adrian Tyr survived alone 3 times when his company to a man has fallen. The soldier refuses to give up. He is fearless and enduring. It will take the force of God to bring him to his knees. Good luck. Go with Lyria. Adrian fell harder than I thought he would. Well done. Your final challenger is my sister, Ragnar. She is the finest weaponsmith in the Alfar army, and a peerless fighter. She will bury her sword in your heart if you are not careful. Do not underestimate her. Go with Lyria. One by one, the greatest of the Alfar have faced you in single combat, and all have fallen. Now it is my turn. I am Bronwyn Aurelia Sen, the first sword of the Alfar. I was born in battle, and hundreds have fallen by my hand. Let us see what you are truly made of, champion. Go with Lyria. You are worthy of honor, warrior. I have never faced your equal. Take this. Tilera herself granted me this blade for the slaying of the Tuatha champion Zerastes. But you deserve it more than I. The Alfar honor you, champion. May the Tuatha fear your coming. Go with Lyria.
Well, you bent me over the anvil right proper. Stay safe.
I worked hard to get to the front.
It's time to celebrate. The Baelor's dead, and the Tuatha have fallen back to Cursewood. You and me, let's drink to victory. I'm not doing this for the glory. Glory's worthless when you're dead. I'm doing this because someone has to. And if not me, then who? Oh, I come from a long line of soldiers. We don't know anything else. I'd pay good gold to see anyone in my family bake a loaf of bread or read a book. Thought we were doomed, didn't you? You and everybody else. But nobody accounted for the hero of Melsen Shear. No, not Tak. Not Tak! Damn the Tuatha! Damn them to the fires! This isn't how it was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be the soldier. He was supposed to stay home to watch Mother. I knew he was in Cursewood, but they must have been in the path of the Baelor. They were trying to shield us. Poor Tak. Mother will be ruined.
Welcome. I'm happy to help you with whatever you need. I'm open to buy or sell. What can I do for you today? Stranger, I'm
You're already dead. Nothing but another corpse, just like me. Another body for the feast. She's here, you know. Death. I've seen her. She's like a big fat crow come to eat my eyes. Please, don't let her eat my eyes. I don't want to die. Oh, she's a great dark crow with 1,000 needle beaks. She's going to take me, you know, I've seen it. We're all beggars, dead already and begging for the end. Beggars bent like hags, bent beneath a bloody fate. But you're no beggar at all. You're the scarecrow, aren't you? Shoo, death, shoo! I can see it, all around you. You're not like us, you're not like anyone. You're not afraid of death, are you? I am. I dream of her. She takes me beneath the tower and she does things, horrible things. Don't let her take me there, please. Don't let her open me up. I don't want to see what's inside. A fool twice cursed. Once to fall in battle, nearly killed. Cursed again to keep on living in this wretched place, this nest of death and darkness. A whole city of crows, fat from feasting. Once I thought they were monsters, always rising. I didn't know then. I didn't understand where the real monsters live. Don't leave me!
Yes? I am Corialia Scathe, head surgeon here in Melsenshire. Do you require healing? Master Hawkins is not well, I'm afraid. The injuries he sustained have broken both his body and his spirit. Do not trust anything he tells you. I can assure you that his mind is racked with a deep dementia. As head surgeon, I support the soldiers of the Alfar armies as best I can. Despite the recent and dramatic improvements in healing magic, few that make their way to my table survive. As great as our power may be, the power of the Tuatha is all the more destructive. Her services are adequate. I'll admit, her only fault lies in caring too much for her patients. A beautiful city, is it not? When the siege began, I came here straight away from studying with the Scholia Arcana in Rathir. The opportunity to observe the effects of violence firsthand and to help, of course, was too much to ignore. To be able to study their physiology. Impossible, of course, given how their bodies return to nature upon their death. Farewell. couldn't leave the prattling of a madman alone, could you? This is my sanctum, trespasser. You couldn't possibly understand the work I'm doing here. I fear I will need to kill you now. Perhaps the process will provide some insights into your unique power. Don't you see? The physiology of the mortal races is a book we've barely begun to crack. You couldn't possibly understand. I take these young men and women and I open them and I see what truly lives within. Magic is changing and so are those who wield it. I am merely bold enough to look and learn the how and why. How unsurprisingly noble of you. Few possess the intellectual acuity to appreciate my work. Very well. Perhaps I will learn something from your death. Ooh, this one.
The Tuatha lines have broken, and we still live. It looks like fate has a sense of humor. Please, forgive my melancholy. The champion of Mel Senshir should be cheered, not subjected to my sorrow. I am Adrian Tyr, and I owe you my thanks. Though many have been lost, your courage saved a great many more. I was dead, or I should have been at least, if it were not for a Varani mercenary who threw himself in the fray. He fought like a demon, and I was able to escape. The poor man was not so fortunate, though. I watched the Tuatha cut him off, and then he was gone. It shames me, but I once held such mercenaries in great disdain. But this man, whoever he was a warrior of honor. He was cut off and surrounded by the Tuatha. He is surely dead. However, his body must lie somewhere in Cursewood. It would give me peace to learn of his fate. I am a warrior, nothing more. I go where I am told. I will spill blood with my company upon the shield wall until either I fall or no enemies remain. I did not think fate would let us survive that onslaught. It seems that even if fate is not on our side, you are. She was the greatest among us. What happened out there on the wall? I knew she would redeem herself. Thank Lyria she was here, and that her life was not given in vain. Mel Senshir has been my home for 7 years of bitter struggle. As grateful as I am for the strength of its walls, I am eager for a new horizon. Farewell.
Keep walking.
Take a look and let me know if you'd like to purchase.
She's dead, isn't she? The moment she passed, the clouds surrounding my mind seemed to pass. What a wretched woman. Who knows how long she's been here, preying on the weak and injured. Seems I named you well, Scarecrow. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done. I do not think that I can return to the Chandlery after what I've seen. Where does one go after they've seen the horror of war? A kind soul, she hasn't left the hospital since the siege. I don't think she even sleeps. I wish I'd never come to this cursed city. I survived the horror of battle only to find the horrors of the hospital.
Well met.
You! Stop! State your business.
Keep your hands off me, fool. I'm no Tuatha. I must speak with the Siegebreaker.
I didn't fight at the gate so a Fae could just walk in.
It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign. Clearly I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy. Indeed, you accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha De Own are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflo's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. I'd rather not talk here. Cluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there. Yes, I traveled with Agarth back in his prime. But those are stories for another time. I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her. We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses, and those who escaped Prismia Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights, and for that, we will take their lives, to restore a balance once again. I am Sidon the Outcast. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by that little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. That he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch. We have walked these lands for countless ages, always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Tuatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary. The House of Vengeance was a place of fierce honor and stoic determination that made granite seem soft and fickle. But not anymore. When Gadflow rose up, he unleashed their bottled hatred and turned it against the mortals. Now, they're led by a vicious cur, more beast than fey. Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly. Prismeer has always grown in our lands, but only with the surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem. When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of a summer court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. The Wather have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them, but by the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the corpse collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it? We're only a shadow of what we were before Gadflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. Now be careful.
So few of the Winter Court left to standing. You go ahead. It's been some time since Sidon and I had a chance to talk.
Indeed, Agar. I hear on the winds that you laid down your sword and drowned yourself in drink when you learned the ways of fate. And yet here you are, sword in hand, again the victor. How is this? Do the winds lie to me?
It's a long tale. It started when I sobered up long enough to go bury a friend of mine in Alistar Tower. Or rather, that's what I had planned to do.
Hail. You're the one who slew the Baelor. Honor to you, champion. I command the Ariad. We are warrior scouts, the eyes of the Alfar. My men are scouting the Tuatha's retreat, though I fear I may have lost even them to this cursed forest. They are overdue. My men are never late. They are either where they are supposed to be, or they are dead. In fact, if you are venturing out into the forest, may I prevail upon you for aid? 3 of my men are missing. If you discover any evidence of what befell them within the Cursewood, let me know. Warrior to warrior, I would be in your debt. And if it would sweeten the pot, there'd be gold for you as well. I have been leading the Ariad for many seasons now. I may not have the flair that some of our other leaders do, but I get the job done. It's been called that ever since they laid the foundations of Mel Senshir. Even the smallest of plants and critters can kill you out here. Don't care what happened on the wall. Talara was a great general, through and through. She'll always be a hero to the Ariad, and to me. My men and I are glad to be free of its walls. It is about time the brass decides to unleash us on these Tuatha dogs. Aye, Cluracan's doomed to drown in blood. Mark my words. The men and women of the Ariad are handpicked for possessing a very particular set of skills. We are the eyes of the Alfar forces. It is our responsibility to move among the enemy, to watch and wait, and when necessary, to kill. Vile creatures. The sooner we kill them all, the better. Later then.
What are you doing out here? Did Captain Drafan send you? Tell him I'll be along shortly. I've got some unfinished business brewing here. By unfinished business, I mean Deadeye, Tuatha assassin, responsible for hundreds of Alfar deaths in the war. The two of us just crossed paths here in the wood not half a day past. I hunted the monsters to Shattertear Mines. You're the hero of Mel Senshir, right? Think you can lend a hand? Deadeye's inside. I don't dare to go in alone. Hundreds of my brethren have fallen to that creature. But you killed the Baelor. So I'll stand here and cover the exit with my bow. You can venture into Shattertear and hunt the hunter, so to speak. Leader of the Ariad and my commander. We're scouts who serve the Alfar interests in Cluricon. Drafan's a stickler for the rules, but that's all right. Sometimes rules are useful. No one knows her actual Tuatha name. I probably couldn't pronounce it even if I did. What I do know is that she doesn't miss. Not with that fabled bow of hers. As I said, hundreds of my fallen brothers bear witness to that. I don't remember what I did before the war. That time is all hazy to me now. I've been killing for so long, I wonder if even my family would recognize me. Don't get me wrong, I owe the walls of that fortress. They saved my life a dozen times over, but I'm glad to be out in the world again. It's where I do my best work. Judging from the amount of blood I've seen, Deadeye's probably wounded pretty bad, which means gutting the monster will be all the more risky. Don't underestimate the danger. Farewell. Deadeye is finished then. Well done, warrior. Take this gold for your troubles. And now I best return to Captain Drafan. He'll want a full report. Farewell. I suppose you think that was funny, sending me off to Cluricon after all. Well, if you want to know the truth of it, I was perfectly miserable. But I'm not such a bad fighter. And now, well, thank you. Looking back, Rathir was more full of do's and don'ts than the entire army. Here it's fight and don't get killed. I tell you, it's a relief. I imagined it as sort of a grueling, endless chore. If someone had told me what great adventure and good company this was, well, I'd have been here, far from my mother's prattling, long ago. She means well, it's just misplaced. I wasn't so slow to figure out she was behind this jape. Hero of Melfin.
A journal? Let me see. This book looks like it might belong to the man who saved my life. He speaks of a brother in a place called the Icebrine Coast. Perhaps when the war is over, I will travel there and tell this man how his brother died. Thank you, champion. This book has brought me some small measure of peace.
Interested in a trinket or a...
gem. Another time, then.
I have waited some time for you to come, Siegebreaker, and it seems that my patience has, at least, been worthwhile. The House of Sorrows has need of your might. Aid us, and you will earn a strong ally in the war against the Tuatha Deon. Like your Alfar allies, we Winterfey suffer under the Tuatha's onslaught. And like the Alfar, we Winterfey need a champion. But it is a difficult position we are in, mortal. The Fae are not like your kind. We have different priorities, different threats. We need someone who understands that. You may call me Bizarrain. I represent one of the great houses of the Winter Court, the House of Sorrows. This war with the Tuatha has worn the house to all but dust. We Fae are ill-equipped to handle such change. But your kind, you mortals, can bear it. It is not a simple task I ask of you. I have only approached you because you show the potential of use. You must still prove your worth. Go to the Midden and find the place called the Proving Halls. This Hearthstone will grant you access. Once you are within the halls, my questions will be answered.
Can't believe we beat you here. Cider knows some amazing shortcuts through this place.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of Sorrow, Pride, and Vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride, as well as the House of Vengeance. You need a way to strike at their heart, a way to reach Gadflow himself. And we know how you can get there. Blind him, cut out his tongue, draw the venom from our land. Only then will we be able to begin to strike at Alabastra. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Gadflow's ability to infect its land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we'll take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Cluricon. From here, Gadflow watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every Winter Fae. No Fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Court can be free until those abominations are destroyed. Go now.
So
Break
few of the
tyrants.
Winter Court left to stand.
Solemn, solemn, hallowed tree, glory to the graveyard be. Far from forests of the west, do the dying have this rest.
And so another mortal approaches, even as this one's blood has yet to dry. But my desire to extinguish mortal life has yet to be satiated. Come, you seem a warrior. Why not fight me? Excellent. I hope you provide more of a challenge than this pathetic wretch did. Enough of this farce. I have fought more than enough mortals on your terms, on your ground. Let us see if you are as powerful in my domain. We will finish this fight in my hollow, Tyne Hill. The magics of the Midden run strong in that place. I will be unbeatable!
You did it! What no one else has done. You actually bested that monster. It is much to ask, but none in our camp have been able to stand against him. You must answer his challenge. Fight him again. Kill him, for the sake of our mission. We don't know. He's not Tuatha, but he damn near fights like one. He's been coming here, dueling us one by one. There's some sick point he means to prove by gutting us. And those he doesn't kill outright are dragged back into the Midden with him. Please, we're scouts, not seasoned fighters. We can't complete our mission if this headsman continues picking us off. Thank the gods. If he called you to Tyne Hill, then that means you'll have to fight him there. But be warned, this Fae uses magics we haven't seen before. It's like he's feeding on the energies of this place. Or worse, there are those that fall to the headsman, but then there are others, prisoners. What he does with them in Tyne Hill, no one knows. We weren't very many, but we were sent by the Alfar Command, ostensibly to make sure the Tuatha didn't have any positions out here. But there was another purpose. We were to try and find a way to give the bodies of our men a proper burial. Suppose I'm the only one that still holds rank around here anymore. My brother Gilman was leading us, but... I hate that damn thing. The Tuatha are using it to lord our own dead over us. I aim to do something about it. He's a Winter Fae. We do not know his name. He comes and butchers one of us, and makes the rest watch. Calls it justice. We don't know why. He just picks one of us, gives them a blade, and cuts them down. Alpha or human, fighter or no. Cluracan has its dark places, but the Midden... It's hard to even stand here. I don't know how you make it look so easy. But we've been sent here for a reason, and we'll stay until we see it through. Find the headsman. Finish him.
Mitharu, praise be to Mitharu, and may his blessing be upon you for visiting this humble camp. I am Krieger, a humble cleric of Mitharu. I have accompanied these noble Alfar in peace, and I would make use of you in my mission if you are willing. The world needs to know how many of Mitharu's children gave their lives to fighting these heathen Tuatha. You will find an earring upon each soldier who has been slain. Bring the earrings to me, and I will be able to tally the dead. I'm glad to have your help. The soldiers, their bodies are strewn throughout the midden. Every one has made the ultimate sacrifice in service. Collect the earrings from them, and I will give you what I can. Thank you for this, Wanderer. The world must know. On the corpses of our unfortunate brethren, truly the army is stressing at the seams, but they have enough decency to try and give these poor souls a burial rite. How noble of them. A grotesque monument. That the Fae worship trees is barbarous enough, but does this house of sorrows find it so saintly to treat bodies so? I'm a humble servant of Mitharu. My abbot asked me to refrain from coming here, but I knew someone had to bring faith to those who suffer. I thought to count the dead, so the history might know the enormity of the bloodshed. But even that has escaped me. A horrid place. This is the holy ground of these winter Fae? This is the form their worship takes? This is nothing but a celebration of death and dismemberment. Mitharu take me, but the Alfar should not stop at just the Tuatha, it seems. Go with the gods.
Please, wait a moment. You are not part of the army, are you? What are you doing here? No matter. We are injured here and need someone fit enough to venture into the midden to recover some important reconnaissance. Somewhere in this mess of bodies is the corpse of my former scout, Venris. He was carrying the information when the Tuatha caught him. All I know is that it is somewhere in the midden, along with thousands of other corpses. But Venris was an unusual scout, and that might help us track him. You see, Venris bonded strongly with a wolf when we first arrived here. The wolf still lives, and I have no doubt he can find his master's body. Follow him. Even if you knew what Venris looked like, it would not make finding him amongst all these bodies any easier. The wolf knows Venris's scent. He can track it through the midden and lead you directly to the body. Very well. I'll release the wolf now. Follow him and make sure nothing happens to him before he finds Venris. Without him, we have no means of singling Venris's body out from all of the others. We have a special assignment to undo the damage to morale here and to give these bodies a proper burial. The thing is not cursed, but it is eerie seeing it looming over us the way it does. I cannot wait to get out from under its shadow. This place is foul. The Fae act as though it was once a place of great significance, but all this death, is this truly what they marvel? It was Venris's pet, and also his friend. They often went on scouting missions together. The two were inseparable. Nearly got gutted trying to scout out the Tuatha after you carried the day in Melsen Shear. So Command sent me here for an easy job. It is clear they never stepped foot in this place. Be careful, or you will end up like me, or worse. Please, hurry!